Thank you. Just take a step back. Imagine in 2004, a young Chinese student arrived in Australia with nothing but a suitcase and limited English. She would never imagine one day she will become a managing director and founder of ASX-listed mining companies and presenting in front of you. And in 2012, she quit a well-paid job, stable, and then giving herself a glorified title of a CEO of a mining startup company based in Kalgoorlie, gemstone mining. She would never imagine that in 4 years' time, she will bring that operation into production, shipped, mined, and sold directly to China, 2 million tons of gemstone in 2016. And in 2019, her new venture, Accelerate Resource, in the middle of the pandemic, almost on its knees, with limited resource, no funding, no team, no project. And she would never imagine that today, the company is in its pathway and on its pathway to become the next producer of high-grade manganese within the Woody Pilbara area. So I'm glad to be here today with Adrian, our project manager, to bring to you an exciting new project, which is the Udinos high-grade manganese project, and share our exciting journey ahead. So right now, we are experiencing rapid growth in the EV car industry. In 2019, 2.2 million EV were sold, representing only 2.5% of the global car market. And then in 2021, the EV sales more than doubled to 6.6 million. And today, we're standing here with almost 10 million EV on road and projected growth to about 200 million EV on road by 2030. So with the growing demand, the supply chain securities underpin the future growth of the sector. At Accelerate Resource, our vision is to become the next manganese producer to meet the increasing demand from the battery and the steel industry to provide low-cost, high-grade, and sustainable supply of manganese for both the steel and EV battery space. So what is manganese? So manganese is a common but critical metal. 90% of the manganese is used in the steel-making industry. It makes the steel not so brittle. So it's widely used stainless steel and aluminum alloy steels. So in the steel industry, there's no replaceable minerals for manganese. It is also a critical mineral for EV batteries. And since 2019, both Tesla and Volkswagen has already announced their forward planning to bring the next generation with high manganese content into the production line. So the current preferred battery compositions are nickel, cobalt, and manganese batteries. So in here, manganese acts as a stabilizer in the mix, play an important role to ensure the safety of the battery cells for both EV cars and the EV devices. So this drives the manganese consumption in the battery sector to about close to 18 times fold by 2050, with the increasing demand for the manganese supply to the sector. So we Accelerate Resource is well positioned in the upward trend of the commodity cycle to develop the Udinos high-grade manganese project. So now take a look of the project itself. So location-wise, the project is well located. It's close to all the major infrastructures. It has access to the road, rail, and also only 10 kilometers away to a national gas pipeline, which is currently have a spare capacity. This is also 150 kilometers to Mababa and 240 kilometers to Port Helen, which is the major bulk commodity port. So this Port Helen actually started with shipping the manganese mine back in 1950s, before it became really famous for iron ore shipping port. So the second highlight of this project is its geological features. The project is located in the Woody Pilbara high-grade manganese province, with a close to 240 square kilometers prospective ground, with 35 kilometers of continuous mineralization trend, 70 kilometers north of Woody Mine's operations. So here we have to take a little bit of break and have a look what is Woody Mine. Woody Mine is a world-class manganese mineral field. It's well known for its premium manganese product and mining meaning high-grade manganese content, high manganese to iron ratio, and low impurities. Woody Mine was first in production in 1950s, and currently is held by Consolidated Minerals with parent company based in China. It is a vertical integrated mining operation. The mine operation has about annual production around 1 million ton, and the processing for the facility on site is around 1.6 million ton. So our Woody North project is along the trend and share the similar geology and geophysics signature as Woody. The project comprises 2 separate but continuous blocks, which is namely Barra Mine Project and Braeside West. So first, let's have a look Barra Mine. So Barra Mine Project was last explored by Shaw River back in 2012, with a total of $7.2 million spent on ground. And the expenditure is mainly on drilling. RC drilling is close to 27,000 meters, and more than 2,000 rock chip samples and more than 5,000 soil samples has been collected in the areas. Here shows some historical high-grade drilling results, up to 46%, and the thick intersections 11 meters and 28%, 15 meters and 24%, and 18 meters and 21%. The historical metallurgical test result is also indicate a high-grade premium product up to 48% can be delivered from this deposit. So this liberation is through the DMS beneficiations, and here on the slide is showing the end product. So in the last cycle, due to the low commodity price towards the end of 2012, the project became unviable and forgotten for the past 10 years. So we just had a look the drilling result, and with a large amount of historical data in hand, we're ready to fast-track our project by starting a 4,000-meter drilling program campaign in the coming weeks. These drilling targets are identified using the Woody-style mineralization model. As shown on the right, this is a simplified geological model. The gray indicates the hot fluid comes from the deep within the Earth's crust, traveling up along the structure of the fault line, and the hot fluid will travel through the manganese-rich dolomite host rocks. And when the pH level changes, it concentrates and remobilizes the manganese from the surrounding host rock, forming the manganese deposit. So it's quite simple. And on the left is a cross-section view of our Area 3, and based on the historical drilling data. As you can see that it is identical to Woody-style mineralization model, and this is back to the fact, with thick, high-grade intersections mineralization from surface. So for the Braeside West project, it again exhibits all the characters of Woody-style manganese deposit style. Braeside West is a significant underexplored area, with historical drilling include 11 meters, 28%, 2 meters of 41%, and 8 meters of 37%. And early this year, we have completed a detailed analytical work and structural interpretation. We have identified further 195 cluster areas of surface manganese and 30 priority prospective areas. So this project, no shortage of drilling and exploring targets. So coming up in the next 6 months will be a really busy period for Accelerate. So what's coming up? After the consolidations and preparations, we will start 4,000 meters of RC drilling program to test 8 of the 30 priority targets. And I will also plan to start the second round of follow-up drilling towards the end of 2022. Parallel to what's importantly is continue with metallurgical test work based on the historical success. And that will help us to map out the product pathway forward. To meet the EV demand, we will conduct a hydrometallurgical test, and this will be commissioned towards September quarter. So by end of the year, we are aiming to deliver the very first maiden rock resource for the project area for the first time. Without the team, we won't be able to complete any of the tasks. And we have a very strong and balanced, experienced team, strongly supported by our shareholders and stakeholders. And we have delivered a company transformation consolidation plan, and we will continue to execute on the growth strategy as per outlined. So in summary, why invest in Accelerate? Invest in Accelerate represents the high growth EV space and invest in high quality project and the team, and invest at the right time. So please come to this, our booth number 48 to talk to me and Adrian if I have any further questions. Thank you.